Hello, I'm Bret Moss, and you're watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. Our guest today is Reverend Walter Millsap. Reverend Millsap is the pastor at Sadoc Christian Church in Compton, California. Reverend Millsap has been the pastor there for the last 35 years. Pastor Millsap received Bible instruction at Zion College in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He holds a degree in theology from Life Bible Institute in Hollywood, California. Reverend Millsap has also served as chaplain for the City of Compton Police Department. He's married, and he has been blessed with a very large family. He has 11 children, 46 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. Reverend Walter Millsap, welcome to The Defining Moment. It's really great to have you back in our studio today.
Thank you. So happy to be here again.
Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Our topic today is World Peace Begins in the Family. I want to ask you, can an ordinary individual really make a difference in achieving world peace?
Yes, an ordinary person can do just that. An individual has to think of who he is, and then go from there and seek the moral value, true values, so that he can be able to expound on it with authority. So an individual can be changed to do that kind of work, for the community, for the neighborhood, for the nation, for the world. Also, I think Martin Luther King was just an ordinary person, because God can use anyone, that he wants to use, because that's what he created him for, to use him. And we can develop the peace within ourselves when we look to God. Because God is looking for world peace, whether people believe it or not. God wants world peace, and he wanted to begin in an individual, a person. If a person can, obtain that from God and whatsoever, and then he can help his family, and his family can grow, in the love and peace and harmony, with one another, and then they can spread it abroad out in the neighborhood and all over the world.
Okay, well, that's a beautiful answer. Thank you. Now, do you believe that in order to be an effective peacemaker, a person needs some kind of unique talent, or is it something that we're all capable of?
But we all have talent. It's not just a unique talent as, per se, whatsoever, but when God give you a job to do, it outweighs everything else. It outweighs all knowledge, of man that man puts out whatsoever. So a person become, a neat person to do that job. So he was an ordinary person, but he can become a neat person.
So that's based on being called to do something beyond themselves, something
yes.
that requires you, in a sense, to be extraordinary.
That's right. Amen.
But it doesn't. You don't have to be born with some unique talent.
Your talent, you have to be developed, because God put that in man. Even before he was born, because God seen man before he got into his mother's womb. So he put that in man, and man have to discover the purpose of God and the purpose of him being here in this world. Mm-hmm. Because the Bible even speaks that blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. You see, and so we all be children of God. Yes. So that will be peace. Yeah. We all become children of God. So
we're all capable of being an ambassador for peace, in a sense,
yes.
In our own lives, in our own sphere of influence.
Yes. We can all be ambassadors for peace, representing God.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes.
Great, thanks. Can you explain to us what is mind-body unity, and what does that have to do with being a peacemaker?
The mind have to be transformed, and that comes from God. The mind had to be transformed, and then it takes over. It takes over the body, because the body is full of lust, and it wars against the spirit of man. It doesn't care about anyone, but when you get the mind, connected, and you put the mind in charge, and then you can, corral, either control the body, because that's what the body is full of, witchcraft and hate and various in emulation and wrath and strife, sedition and heresy and murder, debate, have all of that. And when the mind is being, developed and being changed, it have the love and have the joy and the peace. And you can only overcome evil with love in your heart, which comes from God. Take control of that unity of the body.
And how does the conscience figure into that?
The conscience, it tells, what is right and what is wrong, but sometimes we disobey it. It's as though that we have two consciences working.
Two minds.
Two kinds of minds working, which is the devil is speaking to, and also God, is speaking to you.
So you, in a sense, have to mediate.
That's right.
Whether that voice is coming from God or
yes.
not.
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Yes, and you will know. You will know. Yeah, to what is right and what is wrong.
Okay, very interesting.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
What else allows a person to be an effective peacemaker?
You got to really desire to want peace, and he want peace with it. So not just lip service, say I want peace, but you got to desire really strongly, have a strong desire of peace, and you can get it, because you'll seek diligent for it, and then you'll be able to help others, to do it. You'll be motivated, and you'll be help others to find peace.
Now, why does world peace begin in the family?
Because as the Bible teaches us, charity begins at home. Love begins at home, and then it spreads abroad. So it have to start with the husband and the wife with true love. And I think because that we have so much conflict there in the home, it's not true love there. Sometimes people marry because of money, because positions and all different kinds of things, except for true love. And true love do exist because God is love. Mm-hmm. And he said, if God have loved us and he still love us, we should love one another. So it should begin with the husband and the wife and the husband teach their children, as the Bible teaches us, bring up a child in the way that they should go. And when they get old, they will not depart from it. So it goes on down to the child's family. Yes, he will not depart from it. So the child begin to teach his family moral value. What's so important? How important the family, is to society and to the nation, so that we can start here and then we can go out and help others.
So in a sense, what you're saying is the family is the building block.
Building block, yes.
For the community, for the society, the nation.
Foundation.
So if the families aren't in good shape,
that's right,
the nation and the world is going to suffer.
Yeah. Well, that means we all going to suffer. And that's what we should realize, that it affects us as much it would that it affects others. You see, and so this is why the world is so much is in a conflict now, that we haven't realized it have to begin with me, and with my family, and then spread abroad.
So that kind of consciousness needs to come into the hearts and minds of everyone. And then everyone needs to do that work to cultivate happiness and love within their family.
And then we can liberate God's heart, because it's what God wants. You see, sometimes we forget what God wants and what we want and what should be best for us. And God knows what's best for us, because he's the one that created us. And so he knows. So we look to him. The husband first look to God. And sometimes the husband get upset with the wife, and she don't know how to respond if he's not responding in the way that he should respond whatsoever. See, if he haven't got his moral value right, she don't know how to act, because he's supposed to be the head. See, and not the tail. And sometimes they want to take tail, but he is the head. He's the starting punch. Of life of the family whatsoever. So the way the man act towards her, this is the way that she will respond to him. So if he acts with love in his heart and self-control, the wife would know how to respond, to him. This is why we have so much abuse of husband and wife, because the wife is looking at him, she don't know how to respond because he is not responding as he should as a man in the home. So that's why we got to be, not just have pants on, we got to be a man. And the only way we can be that man, we got to get that vertical with God, you see.
So you're saying when a husband has a strong relationship with God, in effect that transforms his way of being a husband.
Husband, yes. Yes, been a husband to his wife.
Can you explain how it's different? When God is with a husband, how does he respond?
Because when he's different when he's with God, because he got the love of God.
I see.
We're with him, we're within him, and he got that kindness, he got that gentleness,
and that's what a woman's looking for.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
From her man.
That's right. That's where. Right. It starts with the man, the husband.
Okay.
And the wife, then the children. And you have a beautiful home. We have a beautiful nation. We have a beautiful family and neighborhood, and everybody be beautiful because we got that vertical.
So that's why world peace begins in the family.
Yes, it begins in the family. Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, in many families, it's difficult to find harmony and peace, as we know.
Yes.
If a person wants to be a peacemaker in the family, maybe they're not the father, maybe it's the wife, maybe it's the child. Yeah. Where should they begin?
Well, they should seek out someone as a minister, pastor, some instructor that have these moral values that they can give it to them whatsoever. So we all here to be teachers and be taught also, you see. So we can start, they can get it, because role models, this is what we really need, so some role models that they could go to, but it's not too many role models here. I'm not just putting down the world, but sometimes it be in the church, no role models, to show temperance and show the self-control and show that love and faith and show that gentleness and whatsoever. But seek out a role a role master, a person that can help in this particular situation. And I'm quite God got somebody out there that they can rely on and they can trust in and really know, especially if they're really seeking. Because, the Bible says, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened. And God is there to help us, aid us, in whatever need that we require, what is required, to make peace. God is there to aid us. And so we ask him, we study, we read, we get knowledge. This is what's wrong, I think, the world today. Sometimes we do get knowledge, but sometimes we get the wrong knowledge. Sometimes we haven't got the knowledge of God, you see, which we are spiritual being, offspring of God, whatsoever. And I think that we need more of that. We think that God is something just to say he's God, but he's more than just that. Who will say with God? He just say God. He just God. What can he do? He can aid you, in the time of trouble. He can give you the increase of knowledge and learning. He can help you he can reveal things to you.
How important is the quality of the relationship with one's parents in being a peacemaker?
It's very, very important. As I think I made this statement again, that you have to start, forgiving, one another, because I think I heard once that a father, he made a big mistake. He robbed, but then and he got in jail. But his son was not able. His two sons was not able to forgive him, And if they're not going to forgive him, which they would make a mistake, their children will not forgive them. So see, it just go down. If you don't, nip it in the butt right then and start, because the father asked forgiveness, and they wouldn't forgive him. So I felt sorry for the young two men because they wouldn't forgive their father, and they had to take that back home to their wife and to their children because it's in them for, not forgiving their father. So it's in there. You have to have forgiveness in your heart. You have to be in your mind whatsoever to forgive. So they should start with their father, so it won't fan down to their children too.
Is it possible to accept your parents the way they are?
Yes. It's possible because accepting the way they are, and you can do that, and then you can make a change in their life. See, a person just don't stay, in the same trend, all the time. But if the child know that, my mother is this and whatsoever, I'm going to accept her just as she is. Just as she is, or he is, or whatsoever, and I'm going to overcome that in whatsoever because I can make a difference. See, that child ought to know that I can make a difference whatsoever, and maybe they might not become as I want them to come, but so I'm just going to accept them as they are, so and that would be good. And that's why I said, think of the most positive things, of your mother, and then you can accept them, and they can become better parents and whatsoever, and you can become a better daughter or son by, accepting your parents, you see. But now, not accepting the person, you become a bad person. Yeah, and it would hurt you. And the first thing sometimes young people do, because of my parents, whatsoever, but they don't know that the parents, they accept you, which they really, truly, had a choice. Whatsoever. They could either accept you in the home or you say, hey, let's go, but then they still accepted you. So you have to work on accepting them who they are.
In order to bring about a transformation in our world, in our families, it requires people taking responsibility to, in a sense, bring God's love into those situations.
Amen. That's right. That's what it takes. That's what we need, really truly need in our home. We start in the home. Parents, husband forgive the wife forgive the husband, the children forgive their parents, and if the parents have promoted their children in some kind of a way, then they ask the child to forgive them. See, you don't get too big and so up in with your authority that you can't humble yourself, to ask forgiveness, because it's good for the family and it's good for yourself. You have to give yourself, to each other, and then you'll be able to give it to the world, your neighbor and everything. They will see a family, like maybe they show on TV. Here's a family coming from the church, But this person, these families that's coming from the church, they got something within. Not just something that's out. There's something, within that will keep them in perfect peace. Perfect peace. And that's what we need, Something that was in, we keep us in perfect peace because we have that vertical setting with God, you see.
We see a lot of conflict and strife in our world today motivated by religious intolerance or religious conflict. How can people of different faiths and different religions work together for world peace? Well,
we have to find a common ground on that, that we all have something in common, like families, whatsoever. We all got to go to a job. We all get sick. When we start realizing that, the man start realizing that, we all got to get up. And we maybe had to go, some got to go to work and used to work anyway, as far as that concerned. And it's really something in the religious or the Christianity feel that sometimes we don't want to associate together, but we can on a job. You know, different types of job that we, you know, what kind of field that we are in. You know, well, we a doctor, lawyer, or whatsoever. It doesn't matter whether you be a Muslim, but we can work, you know, together. I'm a lawyer, you're a lawyer, you know, and whatsoever. So we in harmony with that. We're working together. So and this is the way that Christianity, you know, should be. You know, that's why I said that some have the wrong concept of Christianity, and maybe the person that calls himself Christianity can have the wrong concept of it, you know, because it's loving everyone, no matter who they may be, you know, whatsoever, and finding this year common ground and work with that, and then we can come together. Okay, we're gonna work on family, you know, whatsoever. I have a family, you have a family, you have boys, I have boys, you know, and so. And then we can begin to relate to one another, just you know that way, and maybe leave our religion out of the way, or what we do, or what you do, or whatsoever. Let's stick with the common ground, because I think Jesus, the disciples, they found common ground, you know, for they were just common peoples or whatsoever, and they fed them, you know, whatsoever. So I think that's what we should realize, and I think we don't realize that. Christianity don't realize, other religions don't realize that we have these kind of values, and they are very important to us.
So, for example, world peace can be that common objective, and people can kind of put their own particular doctrines or beliefs on the side, and actually focus on finding common ground to achieve world peace.
That's right, to achieve world peace. And yes, and when you find that common ground, this is what you should pursue. You should pursue that, because God is working in everything. Everything was created by Him. And whatsoever, and we have to use these things so that we can come together. He wants us to come together. This is what God wants. God wants all peoples from all different races and nationalities and whatsoever. He wants us to come together, and so because of our religion, it's stopping us. Whatsoever. Then we must find some common ground. Otherwise, we be fighting here until He comes. And the Bible teaches that if we bite and devour one another, take heed that we be consumed one another. And that is what is happening. We're being consumed, not because we haven't found that common ground. Realize it or accepted it. And sometimes that stops us because of religion.
And I think we also fail to recognize that among the different faiths, there's one God. We share the same God.
Same God, right? And some call Him Jehovah, Jireh, some call Him Allah, whatsoever. But it's still God. It's still God. God has many names that people have given Him, but we still serving the only Creator who created everything and everybody. See, and we can't get around that, so we must find these common ground. Every individual, every nation, every creed or color must find that common ground and begin to work towards that. And when they do that, God begin to work within an individual and begin to work with groups and begin to work with nation or whatsoever, because we have found something that we all have in common. And we work with that, and we can really, we would never know what it would lead to. It could lead to a great, deliverance, from all our kind of religion, kind of a thing. It could be just one nation under God. We just be one big happy family.
One world family.
One world family. Yeah, I think because we looking for a little, here, my religion, your religion in the corner or whatsoever, and not realizing that, hey, this Muslim, this Japanese or whatsoever, we got something in common. You got a family, I got a family, whatsoever, and we start talking about family values, whatsoever, what is needed, in the home, the husband. And all, and then we husbands really start standing up. God for sure would be pleased, like He.
Yeah. Well, I think it must bring a lot of pain to God.
Yes.
To see His children fighting each other in the name of religion.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Some try to bring it like the name of God, but it's not so. Not so. Not so. Not so. Not so. God wants us to love one another. First, the Bible teaches us that to love the Lord thy God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. So you just can't get around it. You know?
Whoever your neighbor might be.
That's right. Whoever
might
your
be a
neighbor
Hindu,
might be.
Buddhist.
Yeah. Because if you don't love that person as you should, or whatsoever, it's going to affect your family. See, God got this thing. I mean, He got it fixed, you know. And we should look to Him, you know, because He got it fixed. If you don't love that person that is not in your home, then you're going to affect your home. See, and that's why it should begin at the home, and then it won't be no problem. You know, but Bret, I believe the problem is at the home, because if you really truly love at home, it's no problem. You got that love in you. It's embedded in you. You got that love in you, and it will spread, you know. It's just like the sunshine, you know.
Wherever you go.
Wherever that you go, you know. And I tell you, this world would be just like God wanted, you know. And it really would be like we want it, because we have lost our true identity. Yeah. Because we don't love one another.
I hear you.
And we don't our true identity. Because why? Because we come from God. God loved the whole world. So when you don't love, you have lost your true identity. Yeah.
We're all children of God.
All children of God.
And we're creating the image and likeness.
In the likeness of God. This is it. So see, God got to fix you. You know, you got to love because He loved. In the Bible teaches us, if God loved us, we ought to love one another. We ought to. Yeah. And then it says that if any man say he loved God and hate his brother, he's a lie. And the truth is not in him. And that is the truth.
What I hear you saying is that world peace, there's a lot more to world peace than simply an absence of conflict or an absence of war or an absence of fighting. There should be something more there.
It's more. You know, it's more. We try to make a peace in a military way, and you know, and everything. We try to do it, you know, our way, but it have to come from the Creator.
And you're saying that in a sense, love should be an element of a peaceful world.
Yes, it's true, because there's no way, Bret, this is the truth. There's no way that we can have peace in our home and not peace with our brother outside of the home. That's not the way it works. It works with peace in the home, peace, you know, to the community, peace to the nation, peace to the world.
It's not something that you can hold on to just for yourself and your own family.
No, you won't.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work like that. You won't hold on to it. But once you receive that kind of a love that God has, that agape love, whatsoever, you want to share it, you know, with
so in that sense, that's
you
when you become an ambassador for peace and share that love with other people.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yes,
well, on that note, Reverend Walter Millsap, I want to thank you so much for being our guest today in the Defining Moment.
Thank you.
You've really shared some pearls of wisdom with us, and I really appreciate that. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you.
You've been watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. You can find us on the internet at www.definingmoment.tv. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.